Welcome back to the show. What better way to end the show with some dessert? This is my good friend Lois Porter, who's actually a teacher for my kids, and you've started a whole new business. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, the name of my business is Mamie and Mackay Sweet Potato Pie. It's a ready-made, pre-made pour-and-bake sweet potato pie batter. It's made with baked sweet potatoes. It's all natural ingredients. It's a multi-use product. You can use it to make sweet potato pie, but you can also make biscuits and pancakes and ice cream from it. I'm here today to share with you 2 tips to make a perfect sweet potato pie.
Okay, what kind of ingredients are we talking about here? What do we got?
Salt, nutmeg, vanilla, sugar, eggs, butter, cream, and baked sweet potatoes.
So my husband's family would always have sweet potato pie, and I'd always have to have a slice at Thanksgiving. But they're so dry. I think they just got them at the deli, and those are not great.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. Sweet potatoes are dry. Sweet potatoes are drier. There's also a product called a yam.
Right.
People ask what's the difference between a sweet potato and a yam. And the difference is that a yam originates from Africa, from the word Nyami. It was brought over by the slaves back in the slave trade, was planted in the South. It's a smaller, more tender vegetable, but it's a sweet potato.
Right.
It's the same thing.
So you can make a pie out of yams, and you can also make
there's this whole, conflama about is it yams or are they sweet potatoes?
Right.
They're the same thing.
Right.
They're really the same thing. The secret, though, is to not boil them, but to bake them. If you bake them, you have the sugar retention in them, you have the nutritional value still in them, and it's just they come in this perfect little shell.
I have tried to make potato dishes before, and this is my tool. Everybody that comes into my kitchen makes fun of my primitive tools, but it does make for a lumpy dish.
It does.
And I guess maybe some people do like a lumpy pie.
Some people do.
But is there a better way to do it? Do you use like a mixer or...
What I do is I bake my sweet potatoes and I take all of my ingredients. My grandmother, this is a recipe from my grandmother. My grandmother was very methodical about how she made it. I'm not quite that methodical. I'm just like, ingredients,
right.
Dump it in the blender, blend it up. It breaks down the fiber that happens in the sweet potato. Stringy, right. People ask me, how do you get the hairs out?
Right.
So how do you get the hairs out? You blend it, and then what happens is you end up with this really creamy, smooth product. Now, how long you blend it will determine whether you have lumps. People like a little chunk of baked sweet potato in it, which is good. I like that too. But blending it in the blender really incorporates everything. You don't have any lumps of cinnamon or nutmeg or whatever you may use stuck over in the corner. You have everything blended up. And then also you have this container to pour it into the shell from.
You've already done all this in your own special way with your own special secret recipe.
I created a product that someone could buy, they could bake it, they could claim it as their own.
See, that's what I love. Okay, so open it up, and then I'm going to tell my story about how I cheat all the time. I usually call myself out on it more often than not, but I really don't cook anything at my house. I go to the deli. I'll put some fresh herbs on something that I pulled out so it looks like I baked it. And that's what I love about this, because I can
pour it and bake it.
Oh, look at me cooking. All right, let's look at this finished product. This pie could be on the cover of Bon Appetit magazine. It's beautiful. It's not lumpy looking. It doesn't have big old brown spots in it. And now I'm going to eat some. I'm going to take a little piece because I know the whole crew is going to want some after this. Let me see what we got here.
Now what you're tasting, Lisa, is baked sweet potato, and you can taste that in there. It's a firmer product. The consistency is fantastic when you blend it. And the seasonings, the nutmeg, the cream, the butter.
I'm going to tell you right now, this doesn't taste like anything you're going to get at the grocery store.
That's right.
It's so fresh, and it's not too sweet. I think a lot of times people think about that stuff in a can.
Right.
It's too sweet and doesn't even taste like food half the time. This is so good. All right, we're running out of time, so I'm going to get you to say goodbye with me. This is Lisa Quinn and Lois Porter. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
We're going to eat some pie.
Pie.